The 77th Golden Globes Awards ceremony concluded this morning with some big winners who went home happy. Now, aside from honouring the best in television and film, politics also took centre stage at the award show with presenters and winners talking about the raging bushfires in Australia and the need to address the climate crisis, possible war with Iran and the 2020 US presidential election. And making Golden Globes history are Asian artists. Awkwafina is the first Asian American to win a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a musical or comedy film for a starring role in The Farewell. Bong Joon-ho's Parasite is the first Korean movie to win Best Foreign Language Film in the 77-year history of the awards. The awards also saw big winners, including Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino, which won 3 awards, and War Movie 1917, which clinched Best Motion Picture for Drama. Renee Zellweger won Best Actress for Judy, and Joaquin Phoenix beat out Adam Driver and Christian Bale to win Best Actor for Joker. While it seemed streaming platforms were set to dominate, the biggest surprise of the show belongs to Netflix, which only bagged 2 awards from a total of 34 nominations. We have journalist Jen Lee in the studio to tell us more. Welcome, Jen. Now, Jen, let's start off with the Asian wins, right? We have Awkwafina and Bong Joon-ho. Now, how significant are these wins? Prospects are bright for Awkwafina and Bong at Oscars.
I think for Awkwafina, it's clearly a very significant win. She's the first Asian American, possibly I think the first woman of Asian descent to win in a lead actress film category at the Globes. And I mean, nobody really talked about her like 3 years ago. I think she has been working as a rapper, singing, acting a little bit here and there. But I think most people really know her from Ocean's 8, which was released like mid-2018. So this is 1.5 years, that she just is a meteoric rise. She was in Crazy Rich Asians, The Farewell, now she's going to be Marvel. So major congratulations. Her prospects at the Oscars are not great in the sense that so The Farewell is fronted by A24, which is an independent studio in Hollywood. It doesn't really have the sort of money to mount a full-on Oscar campaign, and that performance is the kind of performance is very quiet and not really the kind that the Academy likes to reward. And Renee plays Judy Garland, and Hollywood loves their own stories. So for Bong Joon-ho though, a significant win for South Korea. Is the very first South Korean film to win Best Foreign Film at the Globes. And there is the only foreign film dominating this award season is Parasite, which is brilliant film. And there is a good conversation for Parasite as a Best Picture contender at the Oscars, and not just Best Foreign Film. But no foreign film has ever won the Best Picture Oscars. The bias is real. People see subtitles, they don't want to watch. It's real. So that's a hurdle he has to cross. But regardless, I think definitely he will pick up the Best Foreign Film at the Oscars.
Jen, still on the win, if you could share with us, who are some of the biggest winners? And on that note, also surprises for you, especially, with Netflix, right? It has been said this time around it's going to be the year where streaming platforms are going to dominate, leading the way with 34 nominations, but going home with only 2 awards.
So biggest winners, actually maybe the UK. A lot of the winners were British, so like British Invasion over again. But I think the film side, I would say 1917, which is a war movie that hasn't really come out in Singapore yet, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was the Quentin Tarantino film, were quite big winners. Both took Best Pictures in their respective categories. So 1917 for Best Picture, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for musical or comedy category. Then Brad Pitt won supporting, and so Sam Mendes won director. But Netflix really was like a big loser because it was very nominated. When you consider how nominated it was, and they were really pushing it. They had Martin Scorsese direct The Irishman, which is 3.5 hours long, so I haven't got to watch it yet. And Marriage Story, they were really pushing Marriage Story, the leads, especially Adam Driver, who still has a very, very good shot at the Oscars, I think. And Dolomite's My Name, Eddie Murphy, but they came away with 1 win for Laura Dern and 1 win for Oliver Coleman for The Crown, which isn't even in the film category. I think Netflix is really trying to position itself as a maker of good films, but we're not sure whether that is a hurdle, like the Netflix hurdle, the streaming hurdle. It's a hurdle for voters.
Okay.
So it is a problem. I think surprises. I think Taron Egerton was a surprise because. All throughout award season, he wasn't really in the conversation. He's not considered to be a contender for the Oscars at all.
Right.
But because the Globes has a musical comedy category, that's why I think he was nominated this time.
And this is for Rocketman, right?
For Rocketman, for playing Elton John.
Elton John, yeah.
And he clearly looked very surprised, and it was quite sweet and very charming. And again, British. So Welsh, actually, if I'm not wrong. So. That was quite a surprising win. He's not going to go for the Oscars, but it was very nice to see him.
Right. Now, Jen, there's this talk, right, about Golden Globes considered like a teaser of sorts to the Emmys and, of course, the Oscars. Right? We talked about this. Does it really give a good inkling of what's to come? I mean, Oscars is going to happen less than a month away, right?
Yeah, in about 2 weeks. Yeah. So, the short answer is not really.
Okay.
Sorry, did I just say the Oscars was happening in 2 weeks? I don't know.
Yes, less than a month, Feb 9.
The short answer is not really, because the Hollywood Foreign Press, which is the jury that votes for the Golden Globes, is very weird. It's very unpredictable, very weird. It's very small. There's only about 90 people on the voting body.
Yep.
As compared to the Oscars, which has 8,000 active members. So of course that's a totally two different groups. And the Hollywood Foreign Press is notoriously weird. They are like a group of journalists from all around the world, and they are notoriously celebrity obsessed. So they will nominate people that they want to meet, and then they can take photos at the party. Yeah. That's sort of the running joke with the HFPA. So that's they're not really seen as the authoritative voice on who's going to get the Oscars or not. But on the other hand, though, the Oscars, the voting for nominations close on Jan 7, which is 2 days after the Globes. So if you have a picture that really dominates the Golden Globes, or if you have a winner that goes up and gives a wonderful, great speech, that could really boost your visibility, I think, to Academy voters.
Okay.
So it could up your chances of getting a nomination, but maybe not a win.
Right.
On the Emmy side, though, I think the Golden Globes, on TV side, the Golden Globes tends to be, because it takes place in January, and then the Emmys takes place a lot later.
Yeah.
So they like to be the first one to discover shows. They like to be the first one to nominate. For example, this time around, they were the first to nominate on Becoming a God in Central Florida, Kirsten Dunst. So they like to be the one to hey, look at this award-worthy show that we first nominated, and to win over the Emmys.
Right.
That's sort of their thing. So I think it has a little bit more influence over the TV side, but not so much on the film side, because they're notoriously very weird.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Jen, for that candid sharing. At least, we kind of understand a bit more, of the whole landscape with Grammys, with the Emmys, the Oscars, and of course the Golden Globes that happened this morning.
Yes.
Now, for more on the Golden Globes 2020, and of course to know the full list of winners, you can visit the Straits Times website. There we have it, our top stories for today. For more news and videos, log on to straitstimes.com. Once again, I'm Haryanto. See you tomorrow for more stories on The Big Story.